Roger Stone's bad at gag orders, it seems. He is under a gag order following an Instagram post that we'll show you later. Essentially, after he was indicted and arrested, he just couldn't shut his mouth and keep antagonizing people because that's his brand. And he was barred from doing certain things, and I will tell you what those gag order stipulations are. So Judge Amy Bourbon Jackson barred Stone from, quote, making statements to the media or in public settings about the special counsel's investigation or this case or any of the participants in the investigation or the case. And the gag extends to, quote, posts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any other form of social media. Okay, so those are parts of the stipulations. Pretty instantly after that, recently he posted this on his Instagram feed, which is Who Framed Roger Stone. It is a link to get people to help contribute to his defense fund. As you'll notice from the vertical layout, that is an Instagram story. So he is essentially communicating information saying who framed Roger Stone, which is a comment on the judicial process and how it relates to him, which does, I would say, refer back to the investigation. So that's the first one.
Okay, so that one's nice and mild because in the first gag order, there's now a couple, as Brett explained, and we're gonna get into the details. They said, but you can raise money for your defense fund. So he's gonna say, look, I'm just raising money for my defense fund, and I happen to be saying that you guys framed me while I'm doing it, okay? But that's my out, okay? He's gonna violate all the rules anyway. So that's me being fair to Roger Stone because I'm a wonderfully decent person. Later, I'll tell you stories about Roger Stone that are not decent.
I can't wait. So there's that. There's also a book. He had released a book, he kind of rewrote it, renamed it, and he is re-releasing it around the time that this new gag order was put in place. And so he didn't mention that when they had a hearing about that gag order that they were putting in. So the judge in charge of Roger Stone's criminal trial on Friday, this is March 1st, demanded to know why the court wasn't made aware of the, quote, imminent general release of a book that could include discussion of the longtime Trump advisor's legal proceedings, potentially violating a gag order. And the reaction is amazing. The response, according to a report from Politico that quotes the filing made by the Stone people, says, Stone's legal team in a court filing Monday afternoon said that it, quote, did not occur to counsel at the hearing or when submitting a court file on February 8th addressing the potential for a gag order, that they should then flag the judge, for the judge, the issue of the re-release of the book, which was retitled The Myth of Russian Collusion. So right now he's selling a book that is essentially about the investigation, and their defense is, well, we didn't really think about it since we already were gonna publish the book and release it. So that's the latest potential gag order violation.
He was doing the rewrites in January. He was indicted on January 24th. So he's rewriting the book that is going to be published soon while he gets arrested, indicted, and the judge gives him a gag order. And he's like, oh, I thought you just meant Instagram. So I wrote a whole book. Does that violate a gag order? And then I rewrote the book and I'm gonna release it in the middle of the trial. What, me? Did that violate the gag order? I didn't know. It didn't even occur to us that writing an entire book about this case would violate the order not to talk about this case. Huh.
He's been laughing at them the whole time, though. Yeah. You know what? This is the epitome of privilege. Like, when you watch him, he has no respect for the judge, no respect for the courtroom. And the funny thing is that it is the epitome of privilege, and those people who really wanna identify with him, who are too poor and struggling, that are really rooting for this guy and saying, oh, he's being unjustly framed and all this other stuff. He doesn't even see you, because look at him. He doesn't even identify with regular people. Anybody, imagine us going into a courtroom being that, trying to be that smug and snarky. Look at his old Guy Smiley looking self from Sesame Street. Get out of here. Get out of here. But what I'm telling you is it just pisses me off, because those people that are really buying into this really think that this guy is one of them, and this guy does not see them. He thinks he's above us and the law.
Okay, I don't know if that's fair. I mean, I think a lot of poor folks in America, whether they're minorities or they're hillbillies from West Virginia, okay, just kidding around. So seriously, if you're poor in this country and you go and insult a judge and you do it over and over again and you violate their orders, you think you're gonna go to jail? Gag order. gag order. No,
Exactly.
you're going to prison, son.
Absolutely.
You're going to go to jail right away. We're not going to have a discussion about it, let alone this. This is another post that he put up in social media. That's the judge in his case, Amy Berman Jackson. He has a crosshairs right next to her head.
Either that or he's the Zodiac killer.
Either way, doesn't bode well, okay? So now remember, this guy goes on InfoWars all the time. His rabid followers are borderline lunatics and heavily armed. He put a crosshairs next to the judge's head, okay? Now, if a poor person in this country, again, kidding aside, you're in Kentucky, you're in Alabama, I don't care if you're white or black, you go in and you put a crosshairs next to a judge's head, what happens to you? And you're not gonna see the light of day for decades, okay? And he's brazen about it. He keeps basically saying, what are you gonna do about it? And he basically saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna call you biased in the press. Who cares? Do it from a jail cell. Okay, forget the gag order. He should be sent to jail immediately, revoking bail, threatening a judge, violating her orders, contempt of court, threatening a federal official. No, revoke bail immediately. Put him in solitary. So I don't believe in solitary. I believe in it for Roger Stone. So now I'm going to use the word gag order as a flimsy excuse to talk to you about things that are indecent about Roger Stone, okay? That really don't have much to do with this story, but I want to have fun, okay? Now, I jokingly say indecent because I don't mind it. The reason that Roger Stone became this dirty trickster in the first place, and hence all these tricks, there's your connection, is because he was ostracized from the Republican Party. You guys remember why? So he put out an ad, a swinger ad in the papers, and for not a woman, but a guy to come over to their house and do God knows what with him and his wife. Might have involved a gag, it might not have involved a gag. I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know, but they'll catch and kill that story. So, okay. Now, Roger, they tarred and feathered you and ran you out of the Republican Party, and then so you went to do these dark tricks instead. Hey, idiot, progressives don't mind what you do in the privacy and comfort of your own house. The people who mind are the monsters in your own party. So, but you lost it and you went nuclear, and you're like, oh yeah, I got judged by these Republicans, and so you know what, I'm gonna become even more right wing. How wonderfully stupid of you. And you think you got any of their love? No, you didn't, right? They still think that you're a useful idiot.
Yeah.
A hatchet man that'll do the dirty work and then be sent off to jail. Do you think they care about you? They don't give a damn about you. But you did all their bidding because you are. You know, you fancy yourself so clever, right? No, at the end of the day, you're kind of an idiot. And also, let's note for the record, since he gives us no quarter, I'll give him no quarter. I mean, conservatives constantly talking about cucks, right? Roger Stone might have been the original cuck. The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.